let's talk about the ABS challenge system because this is really cool. It's the automated ball strike system. It's here for spring training. Not quite here for the season yet. We'll get into that in a little bit. But before I get too far into this, I want to know what you think about this. I'm curious what baseball fans think about the ABS system. Drop a comment down below or send an email to baseballtogetherpod@gmail.com. That comes straight to me. So I will see it if you send me an email. That's baseballtogetherpod@gmail.com. Shoot me an email. Let me know what you think about the ABS system because I'm really, really curious about what people think. Now, I'll share my opinion with it. I think you already know if you've been listening for a little while, but if you don't know, this is how it works. So it's being tested, it's being used in 13 ballparks. That covers 19 teams across the league. I can tell you right now, Angels fans, it's not being used in Tempe. I was at a game in Tempe over the weekend, and Victor Robles for the Mariners thought he kind of got jobbed on a called third strike, tapped his helmet to signal it, and they're just like, we don't have it. Strike three, you're out. He's like, ah. So they don't have it. And that's actually how it works. If somebody wants to challenge a call, it can only be the batter, the catcher, and the pitcher who can challenge the calls. And if you want to challenge something, tap your head, tap your helmet, tap your hat if you're the pitcher, and that's the signal to let the umpire know that you want to challenge. Each team gets 2 challenges, which means if you win your challenge, you get to keep it. If you lose your challenge, you lose the challenge, right? So this basically means you get 2 incorrect challenges per game because if you keep winning challenges, you could have 10 to 15 challenges a game, I guess, if you keep getting them right? So I don't see that happening, but theoretically, that's how it could work. So this is how the actual ABS system works. I've seen a lot of people break this down. If you haven't seen it, I'll do it for you. So the strike zone width remains 17 inches. 17 inches is how wide home plate is. That remains the zone. The depth. This is one thing we don't get. We didn't have that box, right, on the TV, which I believe, from what I'm understanding, is going away this year because they don't want that on in the dugout or in the clubhouse or anything like that to influence challenges. Because yes, the batter, catcher, or pitcher are the only ones who can challenge, and you only have a couple seconds to challenge a call, but you don't want that to influence anything later in the game if it's a problem. So that could be going away from broadcasts. Keep an eye on that. But it's taken into account the depth, 17 inches of home plate, right? So if a ball starts outside and then clips that back corner, a curveball clips that back corner as it's breaking back in, it's still a strike because it got part of the plate. You don't get that on the box on the TV. So something to keep in mind. Now, the height of the zone. This is what gets a lot of people because, again, with the box, it's the same size box for everybody. It's the same size box for Aaron Judge as it is for Jose Altuve. That's been the question all along. They've accounted for this. The bottom of the zone is 27% of the batter's height. The top of the zone is 53.5% of the batter's height. This is according to MLB.com. So what they've done is they've gone through and they've gotten everybody's official height. They put it into the system, and then the system goes based on who's batting and calculates the zone. So crossing their T's, dotting their I's with everything here. I almost said crossing their I's and dotting their T's. But anyway, so they're thorough. I love it. I think it's fantastic. I love the way that they're doing that. That it's not just going to be the same for everybody, right? Jose Altuve is not getting strikes called up to his shoulders because he's going off Aaron Judge's zone in the same game. It's fantastic. So this has been tested the last 2 seasons in AAA, and I think it's going well. I was at a fall league game in November this year, and there was a call that looked. It was a strike call that looked questionable. I think it was a little low, and you actually heard guys yelling from the dugout, "Challenge, challenge, challenge!" And the batter turned back and tapped his head, and it was quick enough that it was okay. They challenged it. They actually overturned it. It was a ball, and it was fast. It was really quick. So it was really cool. I liked the way that it went. Um, During that time that it's been tested in AAA, it's added an average of 17 seconds per game. So this is not going to be like the quote unquote instant replay, right? Because instant replay is not instant. It takes forever. It takes so long sometimes for them to look at it like, well, I don't know, it's close. I think that replay review, 45 seconds. If you don't have indisputable evidence after 45 seconds, the call stands, right? It's taken way too long to review some of these calls. So it takes just a few seconds. It's like a tennis review. So fast. It's so great. Um, and they're not going to be in Major League. It's not going to be Major League Baseball in 2025. But I think everybody's assuming that it will be in 2026. And guess what? It already has a sponsor. That's right. You guessed it, T-Mobile. So I'm excited for this. I think it's great. I think it's going to be a great way to help umpires see the zone. And I understand, right? Like the argument this whole time has been, well, it's the human element. The umpire establishes the strike zone. Well, not really. I mean, kind of, yes, but the rule states, what is it? The hollow of the below the kneecap, and then midway between the, I think it's midway between the belt and the armpits or something like that is the language. Like that's the zone. It's not, well, maybe it's up above his letters, maybe it's a little bit low, maybe it is his belt, right? There is an established strike zone, and this is what's going to make sure that everybody's enforcing the same strike zone and that everybody's playing on the same field from day to day, because that, as a hitter, that's one of the most frustrating things. It's like, golly, this guy's calling everything off the plate. Well, hopefully this will help fix some of that. I did think it was interesting. Terry Francona had something to tell his players. Remember, he's managing the Reds now. So this is one of the things he said. He told his veteran hitters, we're not using it in the regular season, so why work on a strategy we're not going to use? It muddies the waters. This is according to The Athletic. And so he's not even like worried about it this year, right? Like I think what he's going to do is he's going to have his younger guys who have been using it in the minor leagues, like, go ahead and challenge, you're used to using it, right? Whatever. No big deal. But right now, if you've been around the league for a little while, we'll worry about it next year. For now, see the ball, hit the ball, I think is what he's saying there. And, maybe it is like get used to challenging or things like that, but it's a good point, right? Like, why kill yourself putting together a strategy for when you're gonna challenge a call during spring training, because A, the games don't matter, and B, the rules are made up. So I guess something like that. So anyway, okay, that's the ABS system. I'm really curious what everybody thinks about this, because I think it's a great system. I think it's going to be great for baseball. It's a great way to help hitters adjust, all right, not adjust, but confirm their beliefs, or their belief of the strike zone, or adjust. It's going to make for better hitters. Guys are going to have a better eye. It's going to make for better pitchers, because guys are going to hit the zone, are going to be required to hit the zone, right? So I think it makes for better umpires too. I think everybody will be better in the end because of it, and I'm really looking forward to it. And I know catchers don't have to frame because of it, aren't going to have to frame as much because of it, but because it's a challenge system, catchers will still have to frame. So don't worry.